Hey everyone, Geezer Tony here once again. We're back out here at the Siler City Country Club. And today we're going to talk about playing within your comfort level. If you've watched many of my videos, you know that I'm the kind of player that tries to keep it safe and keep the ball in play, not try to do too much, and be comfortable with the shots that I'm hitting, be relaxed. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go against my own nature and I'm going to try to go for everything. Not swinging as hard as I can, but I mean, try to cut the dog leg, go for the pin when it isn't smart, try to make every putt, and so forth, and just see what happens. It may not be pretty today because in my own game, I feel I need to be very comfortable with the shot I'm hitting, and this is going to put some stress on me and some doubt. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and maybe we'll all learn something from it about playing to your own ability, skill level, and personality. So let's get started here and see what happens today. This ought to be fun. The first hole here is just a simple drive down the fairway. There's nothing really to go for. So we're just going to try to hit it down the middle and go from there. Down the right center a little bit. It should be good. Should be a wedge or so. So you can see here we have a pin tucked behind the bunker. And normally, in my conservative style, I would play a little left of the flag and try to make sure that I get it on the green. But this time, with today's strategy, we're going to go right at the pin and try to stick it close. We have 113, which should be a pretty good yardage for my gap wedge, my shorter gap wedge. So let's see what happens when we go at the pin. Mishit that a little bit and it came up, oh, it got over the bunker, it came up just short of the green. I'm not sure if that's just because it's early in the round and I didn't warm up, or I didn't feel too stressed out over that, but it just felt a little weird to me going straight at the pin. So we'll find out as the round progresses if that's what caused it or if it was just lack of warm up. So we're left with a 35-foot chip up the hill a little bit. Got a level lie into an uphill landing area. So I'm going to use the gap wedge again, the same one I hit here, mainly because the ball is going to land in an uphill slope and kind of slow down the ball when it hits rather than being on flat ground. So I should use the same swing as I would if everything were flat and I were using a 56. This is a 52. Back and through nicely, test the ground, get a feel for the shot. We're going to try to chip it in now. All right. A little more aggressive than I would usually be. Trying to chip that in, I was a little more aggressive with the stroke. And it left me in a place that I don't really like to be, which is behind the hole putting downhill. Normally, I would try to just keep it below the hole. So there's a difference there. I tried to give it a chance to go in. It didn't happen, and now I've got a little bit tougher putt. I mean, this should be okay. It's just the odds are better if you're below the hole. So I've got about a 3-footer. Looks like about 3 inches of break. Haven't putted on the practice green either, so who knows. but we got the par anyway. So to be honest, that chip did feel a little uncomfortable because I was trying to go at the hole real hard. The number 2 hole here is a par 5, 480 dogleg left. Now normally I do try to turn it over a little bit here, but way out towards the middle and be safe. This time I'm just going to try to hit a good hard drive down the left edge, which it feels a little risky because if you pull it, you're in the woods. Let's see how this one goes. That worked out great. Not much different than what I would normally do there. We have 230 to that flag. That's about how far I hit my 3-wood, although I don't carry it that far, so I need to go between the bunkers and just try to get it up on the green. Pretty well hit. I'm not sure it's going to run up that hill. It's so soft. Yeah. So it stopped just short. I could have been a little more aggressive and hit a driver, I guess, which I do on occasion, hit drivers off the ground. So I'm left with about a 30-yard pitch, which means I only hit that 3-wood around 200 yards. I felt like I hit it pretty solid, but I don't know if the camera can show, but it's a very steep upslope here, and it just drilled into it and stopped. Although I felt like I could hit it, I felt like I could get on the green from back there, so maybe I didn't hit it as well as it felt like I did. So we're left with this pitch up the hill. Pretty much going to go straight at it, try to get the right distance. Uphill lie, we're going to play the ball a little more on the high foot. We're going to swing along, we're going to set our body along with the slope and swing along with the slope and expect the ball to go higher than it normally would and stop a little quicker. So we're going to need a little more swing to get it there. I pulled that, you could see that, but actually it broke back to the right and it's pretty close to the hole. It's about 3 feet. Okay, so we've got about a 3.5 footer here. A little bit downhill, a little bit breaking to the right as I'm over the ball. Okay, get the dirt off the ball. So I think I'm going to play this just inside left. Should be pretty straight. All right. So that worked out. I don't know if that was any more aggressive than I normally would be, but it's a birdie, so I'm happy. I wasn't uncomfortable on any shot. So I don't know what more I could have done to be aggressive, other than maybe hit driver on the second shot. Okay, so we've got 160 to the hole. Normally I would try to make sure I came up short because it's easier to get a par from below the hole with all the slope on that green. But today we're trying to be more aggressive. So I'm going to hit the club that goes 160, which is an 8. Got a strong crosswind this way to the left. Looks like it's right at it.
Okay, everyone. So I'm not sure why I lost the audio. It could be my editing, but what I was saying there was I couldn't see where the ball went due to the sun angle. And here we are, right where I did not want to be, over the green. By being aggressive, I went over the green where we do not want to be. It's a very difficult par from there. And because of the steepness of the shot here, or the steepness of the hill, and the flag is on a downhill slope for me, I'm going to elect to putt here instead of chip, which is not my norm. And as it turns out, maybe I should have chipped because I didn't do a very good job with the putt, and I left it 8 feet short of the hole, still having to putt downhill for the next putt. And because I left it in the wrong place twice, I end up missing that putt too and making bogey. So I would attribute probably this bogey to being aggressive. Normally, when I play this hole, I make sure that I hit a club that will not go past the hole because it's just so difficult back there. And from the short of the green, it's as much uphill, but much easier to make par from down there on the front edge or even just short. So chalk one up for being aggressive here as far as an extra stroke on the round. So then we're going to head on over to number 4T, and it's a par four straightaway. I think I remember it being 380 yards, if I'm not mistaken. So coming up here in a second. There we go. And the sound will be coming back here in just a second. I just wanted to describe the hole. So straightaway par four, hitting the drive into an uphill slope. And the only way you can be aggressive here really is just try to hit it hard. So there's nothing really to do here, nothing to go for. Just hit a good drive down the center, which I ended up doing very well. Hit a really good drive here. So just being careful here with the setup and the alignment, making sure I don't align it wrong.
Good setup. Nice long, slow swing. Right down the middle. Okay. Red flag, front of the green. Simple shot. Go right at it. We have 120 left to a front pin. Add 10 of that 130 left off of I think I said 380 something. So that's around 250 drive. Not bad for, a real smooth, effortless swing. I'm really liking the driver. I know it's not a new technology, but it's a little different than the one I had, it being the Max model rather than the standard model. So I'm going to assume the same thing goes with the G430. If you get the 430 Max, what I've found with it is that I may have lost 8 yards. I'm not sure about that yet, but I haven't hit one in the woods yet with it in 8-10 rounds. So it's very forgiving. So 120 left to the front pin, and it's uphill. So I'm going to use the longer of my two gap wedges, and I'm not sure how much longer it is. I still need to have it bent, but the other one may not get there. So let's just see what we can do with this one. Great at it. A little bit left again. I think the distance is right. It might be about 10 feet. Okay, so I am left with a 12-footer. A little uphill. It's going to break some to the right, depending on the speed. These greens are not super fast yet. They are beautiful, if you can see that. But because they're a little, I don't want to call them slow, but they're medium, I'd say. I need to be a little more aggressive with my line, not play quite so much break, and hit it a little bit firmer than I normally feel like I should. I want to get the ball past the hole if I'm being aggressive here. Probably play just a little too much break. I like the putt, but getting the line and the speed to match is the key on a breaking putt. 70, it's a very sharp dog leg left. Normally I would just hit a 3-wood or a 3-iron or something out there and take an 8, 9, whatever to the green, but since we're being aggressive today, I'm going to try to really hook this driver around the corner, which I am very uncomfortable with because hooking the ball with control off the tee is not my strong suit. That being said, I wanted to mention that in the last video, I thought I had a problem with this driver and it was making a loud sound. I thought something was wrong with it, but it turns out that the weight screw right here was very loose and making that noise. I tightened that up, I tightened everything up, and it's been fine. So no problem with the driver. I'm happy to hear that because I'm hitting it really well. So let's see if we can take this, put a hook on it, and get it around the corner a bit. So we're going to turn the face where we want it to start. We're going to align ourselves to the right and swing on our foot line, and it should come through with a closed club face to that line and should hook. Let's see if that works. Well, sort of. It hooked, but it started way too far to the right. But all in all, it's fine. So it didn't cost me anything. Flags on the right half of the green, and I'm in this bare dirt lie. So we've got close to 120 from that back pin, and I've got a pretty stiff breeze straight at me. So normally I would be hitting the gap wedge, but because of the breeze, I'm going to use the pitching wedge. Be a little more aggressive. We're going to hit this ball off the bare dirt. So what do I do off the bare dirt to make, because impact is always important, but it's even more so off of a bare dirt lie. So what do? I can move the ball back just a bit in my stance to help make sure I hit ball first and not hit it fat. Also, just being real still and making sure you look at the ball until it's gone are the keys to hitting the ball off the bare dirt. Otherwise, you don't do anything different. You don't try to lift it, help it. You just hit it the same way you normally do. Once you make these setup adjustments, then it's just a matter of executing. So let's see if we can get this up there close off the bare dirt. Now the wind has lit up. Now I'm a little worried about this going over. It has totally quit. I'm going to choke down on it a bit. Put the ball back. Stay real still, real down. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Got it on there and even got it up on the back tier where the flag is. That worked out great. So we're 22 feet, which is a little long, but if you can see the level up, the front level is lower. I don't believe we would have gotten up here had we hit the gap wedge. So this is a good play. Now we've got a downhiller, reasonably straight. It may break a little right. And these are the ones that it's tough for me to be aggressive on and try to make. I think I make a decent amount of them just rolling it down there, but this is a different mindset. So let's see what happens, see if anything's different. Now, I read a little too much break. And again, I'm 3 feet past the hole, which I don't like on a 22-foot putt. So I guess the difference would be a little better chance of making birdie, but also a little better chance of making bogey if you don't make the birdie, as opposed to the way I'm putting. It's a real good chance of making par and a small chance of making birdie. It can happen, but you're not trying to do it. So we're on number 6 tee. It's a par 5. I don't know the exact yardage. I'm going to say it's somewhere around 490. There's a ditch down there that I could possibly reach with driver. I normally just hit 3 wood or something to make sure I don't, because I'm not reaching the green in 2. The second shot is very uphill. But today, since we're being aggressive, I'm going to hit driver and try to get as close to the ditch as I can. Go ahead. The driveway coming across the fairway here. We put just the slightest little bit of cut on this one. Sort of popped it up a little bit too. Try not to hit it too hard. Should be fine. The bunker on the left is up by the green. Can't reach that. The one on the right is about 80 yards back this way. I could reach that. We're going to try to go toward the left one and maybe cut it a little. So I'm not getting a measurement here because I can't reach anyway, and normally I would try to lay up to a certain distance, but being aggressive today, so I'm going to try to hit driver and get it up as close to the green as I can. If I hit it well, I should get it past that right bunker. Oh yeah, straight at that bunker. That should be good. A lot better than an iron layup. We have 2 levels. The flag is on the upper back level. And I've got about a 55-yard pitch here. Flag is on the back level, which is higher. It's an uphill shot. We've got wind at us. So all that added up means it's more difficult to get the ball all the way to the hole. So what I want to do here is hit a lower shot with a gap wedge instead of the 56 and carry it onto the lower tier and let it kind of help it get up to the back tier. Let's see how that works out. Play the ball a little bit farther back, nothing else different. All right, looks good. That's probably 10, 12 feet, which is good with that kind of a shot. And so we end up with 7 feet. It's very slightly uphill. It's going to break to the right. And I'm going to go with I'm going to go with 2 balls out left. It's time to make one. Oh yeah, finally. Okay. So I think that aggressive play paid off because I got a lot closer to the green. Didn't have a full shot and was able to get the pitch to within 7 feet. Hole number 7, par 3. It's 160 to a back pin. A moment ago, the wind was helping, and now it's at us, so I'm going to have to change clubs. I was going to go with the 8. I'm going to go back Try the 7. Okay, yeah. Got to commit to it. Good 7. Nice slow swing, stay still. That should be on. Seems to be a theme today, a little left. Everything's a little left, but it was still a good shot. Okay, I'm 30 feet from the hole and 4 feet off the green. Normally, if you watch my videos, you know I'd like to chip this, but today I'm going to putt it, hoping there'll be a better chance to make it. Although this is not the kind of putt I normally would try to make. It goes uphill and then back down and a lot of break left. Break right. So I need to play this one a good 3 feet out left. And that wasn't nearly enough. Fortunately, though, this one's straight in. So a par on this hole is usually a pretty good score. It's a tough hole, tough par 3. Number 8, par 4, 366. Dogleg right and very uphill. At least the tee shot is. And you see the bunkers on the right to try to keep you from cutting the corner. I don't hit it long enough to go over those bunkers. So I'm going to try to hit it maybe down the center or left center with some cut and get it closer to the green that way. So we're going to set up club face where we want to start. Feet aligned, body aligned, everything aligned left. Swinging that direction, club face pointed a little right. And there it goes. Very nice. It may get over that first bunker. Yeah, I think it's between them all. Okay, we've got a shot playing 130. Got an uphill line. The breeze is at us. And I got to stand with 1 foot partially in this bunker. So I'm going to go with pitching wedge, kind of like I did on one other hole, just to try to make sure I get it there. The one that was on the bare dirt. This wind is a little tough here. Okay, real still, real down. Just left of the flag. Just on the front of the green. I hit it a little heavy on that uphill line. It was very sandy under there, which I wasn't expecting. We managed to get it on the front edge of the green. Now we've left with a 30-footer. It's uphill, reasonably straight. I think it may come a little left. See if we can make this one. We'll play it out about a foot or less to the right. And I pushed it and it didn't move anyway. Okay. Yet another par. Okay, number 9, a short par 4, 300 yards. On a normal day, I would hit an iron or a 3-wood and just take a full wedge. Since we're being aggressive today, I'm going to hit driver. Get as close to the green as we can. Oh yeah, I really clobbered that one. Real good. We'll see. See what we have left. 40 yards left to an uphill green. We need to get it most of the way there in the air because it's not going to go far after it hits the ground. Which I failed to do, so it's going to be a little short, but on the green. We ended up 15 feet short. It isn't terrible. Got an extremely uphill putt. Should come left some. I'm going to give it about 6 inches. Try to make this one. Wow, yes sir. Wow. So, what, if anything, did we learn here? I did shoot 2 under. I do that sometimes with my own strategy. However, I felt a little tense over some of the shots, but overall it worked out pretty well. So maybe I'm not playing as conservatively as I feel like I am, because this didn't feel a whole lot different other than the one I hit over the green and a couple of other shots that ended up in a place that I'm not familiar with. I think the lesson here is to plan your shots according to your own abilities and your own comfort level, or your own personality, so to speak, and do the best you can with that, because I think all in all, it's not going to make that much difference in your score being aggressive. It may be a negative. So learn to score, or if you're out to play golf just to hit a couple of spectacular shots and don't care about your score, then be very aggressive. Personally, I like to play for score. So however you find your fun in golf is good. Just do what's fun to you. So this is Geezer Tony signing off. Till next time.